Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna do the snow melt time lapse. So as you can tell, I did scrape it today, but everything on here is just a sheet of ice. You know, I scraped the portion that's not heated, and it gets down to almost the bare concrete there. But here, since it's insulated, it freezes because it's as cold as what the air is. So it's a sheet of ice. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna get the snow melt turned on. I'll get the camera in place, and hopefully the time lapse runs for the next 6-8 hours or so. So, and I'll put a timer up if I can to let you know what time it is, or run time that is. So let's get her turned on. So right now this pump is running to circulate the glycol, and when the sensor realizes like it just turned on the other pump, it goes through the heat exchanger to be heated. And this is heated by my outdoor wood boiler, which I'll show you that right now. So that'll run like normal. It'll cycle on and off depending on what the glycol temperature is. So I filled this a couple hours ago, so she's at max temp 184. So, and that'll should be fine for at least 6-7 hours with this running. And I got plenty of wood to throw in her, but I want to get this melted and as clean as I can, preferably bare concrete, dry concrete, because these next couple of days here, it's like Friday it's a high of -9, Saturday's a high of -5, I think. So, and it gets down to like -20 something, and that's Fahrenheit. So I want to make sure that this is as bare bones as possible, because we drive a lot of equipment in here and we don't want to be slipping and sliding. So I'll get the camera set up, and then we'll get to work here. All right, guys, so you can see in the time lapse it was melting, and it took a little longer than I anticipated. I mean, it was pretty cold and pretty windy today, but not only that, I mean, we're talking a good inch of solid ice on the driveway, which is not ideal. You want it to be just pure snow, not compacted. I mean, we all know like an ice cube's gonna take a lot longer to melt than just, you know, fresh snow on the pavement when it warms up. So either way, it still worked. I'll try to get the actual time lapse, like the actual time on the screen as it's drying. I haven't looked at the time lapse yet to see if you guys can even see anything in the dark. I hope so, but I got my tractor out there right now so I can show you with the headlights on. But she's, you know, I guess you could call it like a burn cycle right now. So obviously it's recirculating. It's, glycol is getting mixed right now, reheated, coming down, going out. So like right now we got 110 going out, and then we have about 65 coming back, and I have it to where I think it's 78 coming back. That doesn't mean that's the temperature of the slab. The slab will usually get to maybe 55, a little bit warmer if the sun's out. So let's go take a look, and hopefully you guys can see this. Should be able to. So everything's pretty melted except for some like ice chunks, but that'll all melt. But as you can tell, it is snowing, okay? And it's melting on contact. I don't know if you'd be able, let me get closer to the light and you can see it melt right on contact. Hopefully you can see this on camera. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you might be able to see it come down, melt instantly. So even with this fine snow, I think they're calling up to maybe an inch tonight. And it's supposed to stop snowing in like 2 hours. This slab will hold heat, believe it or not, for like 4 or 5 hours. So even if it snowed for another 3, it'll all be melted. And this will be bone dry come morning. And I'll try to get you a thumbnail of that in the morning. So I did plow all this today with the bucket, as you can tell. Snow everywhere but the slab. There's some spots where we've been driving all over, and that's why the snow is accumulating there, because it's ice. It'll be all melted by morning. So you could see the water spot where all the water runs, and then it'll run down the driveway. So yes, sometimes this will be a nice sheet of ice here, but for what it is, it works. This is nice though, because it's right, you can see this is where we come in and out of the garage right here. And this is like a nice sheet of ice, but it's all melting. So works as designed. So eventually, like I said, our whole driveway will be like this, and we have a lot of square footage to do. The only reason we're going to do that is because it's very steep. Not only is it steep, it has angles or turns, I guess you could say, and that's where it's the steepest. And then, like for an example, my brother today trying to go to work, he can't get up the driveway because it's too steep, too slippery. And here's the other portion that is melted, as you can tell. Snow, dry, and most of it is drying. Like the edges right there, you can tell the difference in concrete: dry concrete, wet. And like over here, it's pretty dry. So this will all be bone dry. So this portion is heated from there all the way to the floor drain. And that's why we put this floor drain in, because you can tell the water melts, goes into the drain, and gets pumps out that way. So boiler did well. She's in a burn cycle right now, 173. I only loaded it one time after I did this morning. I didn't have to, but I did anyways. I put a little bit drier stuff in to make sure, like this stuff here, this stuff has been pretty seasoned where that's more wet, just so the recovery time is a lot faster. So, but yeah, that's pretty much that. Hopefully the video turns out. Let me know what you guys think, but as always, keep burning.